pleased to be joined by Texas men's tennis coach Michael Center. Good to have you with us. I appreciate it.
Great to be here, Craig.
And you've had your share of Texas OU weekends, haven't you?
You know, I've been to a couple. To be honest with you, I haven't been to that many.
You're usually busy.
I'm pretty busy. I'm pretty busy that time of year, but pretty aggressive crowd. It's one of those games that you have to go to at least once.
That's right.
You have to go because it's unlike anything I've ever seen with the orange and the red and the divided. But when I walk out of a football game, I don't like to really be looking over my shoulder, wondering what could potentially happen. And that's how I felt when I walked out of that game.
That's a good point. It's a very good point. Of course, Michael, highly decorated, the former national coach of the year, 4-time Big 12 Conference coach of the year. All this does is let you know that he's been here for 16 years. Does it seem that like it's been that long?
I guess you had Howard on last week. He's been here for about, 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
And so you get me now this week.
The yin to the yang.
Yeah, now I'm going to my 16th year. It's hard to believe. It really is. I guess I was thinking I was driving over here. I'm like, I think Shaka Smart was still in college when I started here at Texas.
What I always ask student athletes this. It's only fair that I ask a coach this. What do you like best about being here and at Texas?
Well, you're part of something that's just so special in every aspect. You know, you go to some schools. I've coached at, some great schools, but you feel like you're offering an elite education in a world-class city with the best athletic department, with great resources, with great weather. So you just feel like when you go on the road and you go into someone's house, you're offering the best of everything. And one of the neatest things when I came here was the opportunity to work with great coaches. And I've become great friends with some of my peers, and you get to watch and be around great coaches. I heard Roy Williams was here in town today out at St. Stephen's recruiting, and he was one of the first coaches I got a chance to really get to know when I was at the University of Kansas, and he was a great mentor and a great friend to me while I was there, and I feel like I've taken that now. I've got all these great mentors and friends, and that's really been special for me.
And I think that's something that a lot of folks don't realize, that head coaches from various varsity sports quite often do commiserate. You guys do get. I know it happens here. It may not happen, everywhere else, but I know it happens at the University of Texas, that the coaches do like and respect and consult with one another.
No doubt. I make Eddie Reese eat lunch with me every week. Force him. I just sit in his office and wait for him to come in, and make him go eat lunch with me and pick his brain and coach Fields. And I was really fortunate for the longest time. We had the same staff. Augie, I sat next to Augie and Coach Brown and Rick. We've obviously Coach Strong has been a great addition, but I feel like I learned a lot from those guys through the years.
Do coaches and have coaches in the past, they also want to pick your brain on how you deal with student athletes as well?
Well, I think we all try to share, because one of the things about being a coach at the University of Texas is you want to be the best, and the margins of trying to be the best at anything that you do out there, whether it's coaching or in the business world, the margins are very thin. So we're looking at ways that within the rules, but what can we do to train our guys the best? Any ideas on scholarships when we're dealing with equivalencies, to where are your guys living, to how are you training, or what kind of things are you doing to recover, to anything that we can do to try to find an edge to be the very best. I like to hear what those guys are doing, and I, like I said, I've learned a lot since I've been here.
All right, we're going to visit some more with Michael Center, because we've got some questions to ask him about his team. He's got a new member of his coaching staff as well. All that and more coming up with Longhorn Weekly, live from Pluckers. The West Memphis location continues in a moment. Round of 16 at the Ncaa Championships, and as a team, the Horn season may have ended in the round of 16, but the ensuing Ncaa Singles and Doubles Championships yielded much more. Michael's first NCAA champions at Texas, then seniors Soren Hess-Olsen and Lloyd Glasspool won the Doubles Championship. I know you were extremely excited and proud of them.
Really proud of those two guys. They came to Texas. Really, neither of them played that much doubles, to be honest with you. And we put them together and said, that'd be a great number 3 team to go out there and play. I think they got beat 8-1 or 8-2 their very first match, And they just we stuck with them. They kept getting better, and first team to win in 71 years. So, that showed their improvement. And they beat some great teams along the way. And it was pretty satisfying, I have to admit, to watch them win that match.
Now you have a new associate head coach, Bruce Burke. Tell folks a little bit about Bruce.
Bruce, great addition to our program, was the head coach at the University of Michigan for 10 years. Associate head coach at Illinois. They won the national championship in 2003, worked at Florida as well. Came here last year, helped out as our volunteer. My longtime assistant associate coach, Ricardo Rubio, moved on. He's now the head coach at Denver, and Bruce just seamlessly stepped in, and we couldn't be happier to have him here.
Now he's taking 4 Longhorns to Northern California for the Porsche Napa Valley Tennis Classic. Nice place for a tennis tournament.
When they said you can go to Napa or be here with Craig Way, I said I want to stay in Austin and be with Craig Way. I don't want to go to Napa. So they're there. It's a great field. Cal, Stanford, USC, a lot of the top USTA juniors play this event. So it'll be a really great event. We got 4 guys out there. Another freshman, Liam Caruana, who's actually living here in Austin at this point. His family's here, and he's rated as the 8th best freshman in the country. Will get his debut this weekend. So it's exciting, and we're off and running.
What was your impression of what you saw from you guys last weekend down in Houston?
We had 4 guys in Houston.
Right.
I went to Midland.
Right.
So I was in Midland. I was really pleased. We had a freshman actually win the tournament, which is a strong event. They're TCU, Tech. There were a lot of very good players. We've gone to that tournament year after year. So for a freshman to go in and win the tournament, Harrison Scott, who's a freshman from Calgary, was really impressive. John Mee is from Dallas. Had a chance to go to the final and face Harrison. Lost a tough match to the guy from TCU that Harrison beat. And then we had another freshman do a nice job. And then we had one guy that's kind of coming back from injury, but he's working his way back, Adrian Ortiz. So overall, I was really pleased with the start that we had.
Okay. All right. Now, for folks who don't know, there is the working plan that's going up for a new tennis facility out near UFC Disch-Falk Field. Bring folks up to date on what you know to this point.
Well, at this point, we will be building a facility behind Disch-Falk Field, just north of Disch-Falk. So the parking lot, and then that runs into the printing press.
Right.
That will be the area that we will build our facility that will work in conjunction with the parking structure and then the housing that will go back there. It'll all be kind of one big project, but couldn't be more excited about that location. I think to have baseball, softball, and tennis right there, walking distance from the campus. Most of our student athletes now spend most of their time in the north end zone with academics and the training room and the dining hall, and then just to be able to walk and cut up behind the track to get over there. It's going to be a world-class facility. We hope to host the Ncaa championships, host big events. So hopefully by this time next fall, we'll be hitting tennis balls there.
Now you brought up the dining hall, and I've asked every coach I've seen what they've thought of the new athletic nutrition center, and the players I know love it, and I would imagine the coaches think a lot of it.
I've been in there a couple times. I'm actually confused. I'm not sure where to go. There's so many options in there. You can get your pasta, your sandwiches, it's unbelievable, really, to be honest with you. So I don't think we could have much better as far as an opportunity for those guys. The location, the convenience, just to be able to go up and down the elevator and really get everything that they need.
Well, and these things that we're talking about, the nutrition center, new facility, I mean, it can not only enhance the program, helps with recruiting, obviously as well, but it increases the totality of the profile of UT athletics overall and men's tennis in specific, doesn't it?
Oh, there's no doubt. The competition right now, first of all, out there is pretty incredible. If you go around just this state and look at the tennis facilities all over the state, we play SMU. Just built an incredible facility right there just off the campus on Mockingbird. So the competition is there. We really not only need it, but it's just for recruiting and all those things, but just for the guys to be able to go through their day and be able to go to class and then be able to walk to practice and come back and go to study hall or do what they need to do. The amount of time that we're spending right now trying just to train, it will be a huge, huge boost for us going forward.
You come off a big season last year. What are the expectations for your guys this year?
Well, you always want to there's no rebuilding. You know, you want to reload, and you know, we're playing in a really challenging conference last year. We were basically 5 to 8 in the country the entire year, and we were 4th because 3 of the teams went to the Final Four. So typically when you're 5 or 6 in the country, you're not going to finish 4th in the conference, but that's what we're facing right now. So we've got some great freshmen. The core is really good. They just don't have collegiate matches, so it's hard to say how they're going to respond, you know, in that moment when the pressure's there. But I can tell you right now, over these next couple of years, you're going to see Texas tennis, I think, in really, really good shape to compete for the whole thing. That's how good these freshmen are.
Appreciate you taking the time to visit with us today, Michael.
Thank you.
Sorry
Craig.
I might have cost you a trip to Ncaa. Hope I didn't do that.
You know, it was worth it to be here with you, Craig.
All right. This is Michael Center, Texas men's tennis coach.